Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live. Back weeknights, 7 o'clock Central for InfoWars Nightly News. We've got some really serious news here. Officials say there's a second U.S. case of MERS being reported. This thing kills a lot of the people that come in contact with it. AP reports health officials have confirmed a second U.S. case of a mysterious virus that has sickened hundreds in the Middle East. Well, it's killed a lot of people. A news conference to discuss the case has been scheduled for later today by the Florida Department of Health and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The virus is MERS, or Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. It is a respiratory illness that begins with flu-like fever, a cough that can lead to shortness of breath, pneumonia, and death. A third of those who develop symptoms die from it. You hear that? That means if your family gets it, 4 or 5 people, 2 of you are dead. It's not a good situation. Most cases have been seen in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. But earlier this month, a first U.S. case was diagnosed in a man who traveled from Saudi Arabia to the U.S. So let's just stop right there. But they're not checking for people coming from Saudi Arabia. They get to bypass Homeland Security because the Saudi king doesn't like his people being groped on or x-rayed. Their women don't have to take their headdresses off. But your wife's going to get groped by a lady that looks like Janet Reno. Because you've got to be nudged and broken and taught to be a good slave. Now, let's continue here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get to this whole Bill Maher clip. You can do a search, Boko Haram, CIA. Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda. Boko Haram, Hillary Clinton. And you will get the fact that Boko Haram is Western-funded. It's beyond CIA. Mercenary, globalist-funded because they want to destabilize Africa. Here's the Daily Beast. That's the Democrats. What is that, Newsweek? Boko Haram's bin Laden connection. Some intelligence analysts believe that Osama bin Laden provided everything from seed money to strategic direction to the now infamous Nigerian terror group. Well, yeah, he's the cutout for the CIA, for MI6, on record, for Saudi intelligence, on record, on record, on record, on record. And now they've put Al-Qaeda in control in Libya, right in the middle of North Africa, to invade Nigeria, right down to Central Africa, right into the Congo. I mean, right into the Gold Coast, right into the Ivory Coast. I mean, it is just Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, 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 Al-Qaeda. They are hitting all over Africa, but don't worry. Here comes the army. Here comes the bugle. Can we find a army cavalry bugle? Calling in the infantry. What's the actual technical name of calling in the infantry? No, that's not the infantry. The cavalry. I want to hear the cavalry bugle. It's when the infantry calls in the cavalry bugle. In the old Westerns, that's really what they do. They still did it even up into Vietnam when the helicopters would come in to assist ground troops in a battle. They would blow the bugle and sometimes have it on the loudspeakers. Now, that's accurate when they do that in Apocalypse Now. So here comes the Army, here comes Northcom, here comes the Marines. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight George Soros's battles. Al-Qaeda's blowing everything up. Boko Haram kidnapped women. What do? You call in the Big Red One and the Army. Here come the drones. What does the head of the Pentagon say? What does the Army Secretary say? It's time to drone everything. Drones are sexy. Drones are good. Well, we'll probably get Michelle Obama and Jay-Z to call for it. Bomb anybody and everybody. Kill everybody. Line up villagers, Christian, Muslim, animist. Murder them. Take their gold. Take their timber. Make them slaves. Put them in slave pits. It doesn't matter because there was a Muslim, Boko Haram, and Michelle, the most beautiful snapping turtle in North America. Why, she came out, ladies and gentlemen, and she said, bring our girls home. Even though Hillary runs the whole operation and the White House is behind it. So can we hear that bugle one more time? Calling in the cavalry? I mean, this is important. That all of Africa be invaded, just like we told you 6 years ago in Obama deception. And the army will actually believe when they're there, they're fighting al-Qaeda. But when they get there, they'll be killing Christians mainly. Now, let's because the average person doesn't know who these countries are, doesn't know who these people are. They don't know what's going on. So, bin Laden funding Boko Haram. Oh, Hillary Clinton protested designation of Boko Haram as a terrorist group. That was before they got all their weapons and launched their offensive to destabilize the region. Now they won't be bombed or killed. They'll be left alone. Or maybe they'll stage the death of this Hollywood actor they've got as the leader of it. In fact, can we get the video, the now famous Boko Haram video of the leader of it, saying, we want your women, we will kidnap them, we will sell them, we will make the Christians convert to Islam, because Islam is about murdering women, Islam is about enslaving women, Islam is about controlling them and selling them and making them slaves. I mean, no one talks like that. And I'm not defending radical Islam. The point is, it's central casting the son of the former head of the ADL, Adam Gadon, who was arrested beating up Muslims repeatedly in California. He hated them so much, he would go outside mosque as a teenager, listening to heavy metal and beat them up. And then they said, hey, you really want to fight the Muslims? Become them, demonize them, clash of civilizations, my boy. You don't beat them up outside their mosque. You lead them to blow stuff up. Isn't that just perfect? If you guys are looking for the Boko Haram video, I saw you had it last Friday. There's another one. It's all over the news. I mean, you just type in Boko Haram video. It is universal, everywhere, every channel. Total push for total invasion. They're saying, get me, I'm evil, I hurt women, I sexually mutilate them, we're going to grab your daughters, we're going to make them convert, ah ha ha, we're going to kill your daughters, literally out of central casting. It's kind of like the Hatari militia. I saw a video with the guy in camo with 2 guards behind him. It looked totally fake, the way a dictator would act. And I said, that's fake. That group's federal run. They're going to shut down that group out of 800-plus militia groups we know of. There's more than that. That group's Fed run. Turned out it was. I was correct. It was all true. Because I can see fake video. I can see fake video. I know fake video when I see it. And we're going to be going over that video for you. But here are the headlines. Who are Nigeria's Boko Haram Islamicists? Boko Haram, an Islamicist group, active since 2009, since Obama got elected. You notice that? Part of the Nigeria program. Boko Haram offers to swap kidnapped Nigerian girls for prisoners. Nigerian abducted girls, Boko Haram leader claims captives converted to Islam. CIA director, U.S. doing everything we can to find Nigerian kidnapped girls. Oh, the CIA is going to save the girls. Because when one person dies, it's a tragedy. 10,000 dies is a statistic. Drones and the CIA are so sexy. They're the good guys, like Captain America. And then it just goes on from there. So we're going to go ahead and go to about 5 minutes of this clip of the savior, Bill Maher. And he loves Obama, and they're fighting against radicalism. And thank God Obama is doing everything he can to fight the group they've been funding and running. And just like al-Qaeda and Benghazi, I mean, it's so good of him. See, this gets the heat off of them for openly. This gets the heat off of them for openly running al-Qaeda. The globalists are concerned that this is coming out, that the military knows about it. So, oh, look, here's a Muslim threat. Here's why we've got to invade Africa. And Obama can get up and beat his chest, and Hillary can and say, see, I'm fighting Boko Haram, which she said don't put on a terrorist list so we can give them money. And don't put the new al-Qaeda groups, al-Nusra, on the, because we want to give them money. I mean, it's all there. It's hiding in plain view because they know the general public can't find Nigeria with both eyeballs and a map. I mean, I go out and talk to the general public, folks, they can't find Australia. They've done TV shows, people can't find Australia. Or you put Al-Qaeda stand on it, and Americans will say, yeah, blow that up. That's where Al-Qaeda is. They don't know where the Middle East is, folks, if it doesn't have names on it. And so the globalists that have hijacked this country run radical Islam. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying it isn't a threat. It's a serious threat. Iran has come out today and said, quote, you know, we've defeated the U.S. and NATO with Russia in Syria, but you've got a big problem. They came out and said radical Wahhabis are now going to attack Europe, and don't you dare blame us. See, Iran gets it. And I'm not romanticizing Iran, but they're arch enemies with al-Qaeda, and they understand the plan. So they're saying, don't blow stuff up with Stinger missiles and blame us. We're not going to be attacking you. Do not attack us. And we know your plan is to turn everything over to al-Qaeda, and we're against al-Qaeda. They're arch enemies with al-Qaeda. Folks, I don't like what the mullahs are doing in Iran. I hate al-Qaeda. But again, the mullahs are CIA connected back in the 70s as well.